Welcome to Super Fun Game Review Podcast Go, a look at modern and retro games with a dark sense of humor. Introducing your hosts, Steve.
Well, I'm a wreck now.
Harry.
Put it in my mouth.
Clark.
That man had one testicle and hit home runs, goddammit.
And Joe.
This went off the rails very quickly.
Let's start the show.
Welcome back for another episode of Super Fun Game Review Podcast. Go! Ooh, it is going to be a fast and furious night, my friends. But before we get to that, a word from our sponsor, Deep Creek Glassworks.
Deep Creek Glassworks.
Oh my god, Gooseworks.
Oh,
Deep Creek Glassworks.
Look at all this cool glass stuff. I want to buy it. And you should, because Deep Creek Glassworks has been around since 2013. It's a long time.
Spooky.
God?
Making handcrafted, durable works of art, functional use if you want glasses, straws. Awesome. We got you covered. Do you want some pendants, some sun catchers? Cool. Got you covered. You have something that we didn't talk about? Cool. Maybe have you covered. All you need to do is reach out to Tanner at deepcreekglassworks.com. Work spelled WORX.
Free shipping.
You can check him out on Instagram, on Etsy, on Facebook, and just type it in. The World Wide Web. It's there for you to enjoy and find things like Tanner's Glass. And if you use our promo code SUPERFUN at checkout, SUPERFUN. You will, Jesus Christ, you will receive 10%. That's right, motherfuckers, 10% off of your first purchase and free shipping.
Free shipping.
So, do yourself a favor and go check out deepcreekglassworks.com. Work spelled WORX.
Today.
Today,
Junior.
Harry.
Every man has his limit, and the only way to find it is to go past it.
Son of a bitch. Clark.
Dispatch, we got them kids there just riding around them cars again, and they're just tearing up to town. We gotta get out on that.
Joe.
Da-da-dum-dum-dum. Ba-da-dum-dum-dum.
And I am Steve. If there is one lesson the police should learn from this, it's that they can't keep up with us. And yes, everything you heard was said by Vin Diesel, but this episode...
Did I play the family?
Yeah, family. You took my outro, son of a bitch.
That John Toretto. Goddamn.
This episode is going to be Need for Speed Rivals.
Oh, then I was wrong with my that's underground.
I don't care. Good enough.
Oh, dude, I thought that was fucking reference to Midnight Club.
Cool. Pick a generic racing game.
Yeah, that had that. There was a year where that song was in every
Joe did that. I was like,
Madden 09, you got it.
Who's your favorite sports team?
Skeet. Can't believe they let us say that on
369.
All right, let's get this started off with some initial impressions. Joe?
Cars go fast, go vroom. No, so I...
You know what? I wouldn't be mad if it ended there.
And actually, to correct you, I believe they go vroom vroom.
Oh, yeah. They're Mazdas.
Yeah, they're Mazdas.
Those rotaries. No, so as we talked about previously, we were kind of doing this rotation thing, so I will be sitting out this episode as far as playing it. I listened to the soundtrack. I looked up a couple things about it. Kind of glad.
Yeah, you missed a doozy.
Fair.
Actually,
No, I generally like racing games. I've rated Ridge Racer on
Yeah,
the
oh my
retrospective
God, yeah.
as one of my favorite games.
But that was Ridge Racer.
I feel like they were all good a long time ago, and I haven't seen a good one in a long time.
yeah.
All right, Clark.
I mean, I liked Hot Pursuit in 5th grade when that came out, and I was excited to kind of get that feeling back from a more modern version of the game, and we'll just get into it later.
All right, Mr. Harry.
Yeah, I also played Hot Pursuit back in the day.
God, Hot Pursuit was so fucking
Yeah,
good.
I actually
It
played
really
this
was.
with my ex in high school quite a bit.
Hot Pursuit was my 5th grade graduation present from my mom.
Was it that old?
Dude, yeah.
'Cause I didn't-
it came out that year. It came out when we graduated from 5th grade and all became middle schoolers, man.
So that's wild because I didn't play it until we were in 9th grade.
That
So-
doesn't surprise me, and that's
Yeah.
coming from a fellow poor kid.
Yeah.
You also played it on PlayStation, which you got later in its life cycle.
You were a 64 kid,
I
weren't you?
played it at.
You
You
remember?
played it at your girlfriend's house.
So she introduced me to the game. She was the one that owned it. I'd never even heard of it.
Really?
She was like, yeah. And she
At
was
least
like,
she
you
did
gotta
one
check
good
this game out.
She did
She was
one good thing.
always into cars though. That her whole family was like really into cars. So like, whatever. I don't know. I enjoyed that game and I was really looking forward to. Anyway, so fast forward, I was.
I'm going to leave one little section.
But no, fast forward, I was kind of excited to kind of revisit that game. And if I'm not mistaken, I kind of remember the original Hot Pursuit being like a very like linear, like it's not
Yeah.
like a 3D world. It was like
you pick a
it
stage.
was almost like Cruising USA. You
Yeah,
start at the beginning.
it's a stage.
There wasn't really open world back then.
Yeah, well,
like,
that's true. That's
You
true.
know, it's
I don't know. I had fond memories, and I was kind of excited to get back into this.
Yeah, and that was pretty much the reason I picked this game was, you know what? On the podcast, we never really did a racing game. And trying to go back pretty...
You were racing in Duck Dynasty, right?
it's true.
Airbus, that is true. You are not wrong, Joe.
Not wrong, Joe. That's kind of Joe.
God damn it.
Almost as good as technically correct, Joe.
So yeah, I thought it would be something a little different and a little fun to do. Try to see if there was some correlation between childhood nostalgia and modern-ish technology.
Iteration of it, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, granted, it was 2013 when this game came out. So
Whoa,
Yeah, spoiler! Yeah, I know, right?
Oh,
So yeah, it seemed like fun. It was honestly, it was time friendly. So I figured, you know what? Let's give it a shot because we don't always need super popular titles to review. We just don't get as many listens. But thank you for listening. You're the diehards. Yeah, I'm just saying, if you pull this up on Spotify and you see Need for Speed Rivals and you're like, I'll still listen to it, I appreciate that.
And
I
that-
would skip over that in a fucking heartbeat.
no, and then it'll autoplay the next lowest, which is Devil May Cry. I think. It'll autoplay to Devil May Cry if you sort by popular.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
You're going to be sorely disappointed when this is in like the top 10 of most listened episodes.
Good God.
For whatever fucking
Don't
reason
do
it
that,
is.
guys.
Do it,
If
listeners,
you
do
made it
it.
to this, just turn it off. Cut it out.
Doesn't matter. It's long enough into it. It counts on the play.
Oh God.
Got them. Gotcha, motherfuckers.
Well, inside baseball.
in what?
I think Joe thinks it's a baseball game. We got to get to explaining this.
I was baffled. I didn't look up any of the facts on this game. I'm baffled. This is 10 years old. I was not expecting that.
All right. Well, let's
That's either
give
a
our
good thing or a really bad thing.
I don't know.
It's all good. We're going to get through it really fucking quick.
Really fast.
Yeah, and
And
a little
speedy.
bit and a little bit furious towards the end. It's just the masturbating.
We have a need. We have a need to speed through this game.
All right. Well, let's give ourselves a little bit of a tune-up and get into some game development.
Game development.
I can't wait for all the car puns.
Half of them will be noises. All right. Need for Speed Rivals.
Just the Mick Foley intro.
Car crash. Motherfucking Cactus Jack.
Yeah.
Bang, bang. That's the sound of my exhaust.
That's the sound of my exhaust.
Backfiring, y'all.
Same thing with my beehole. Like I said, I'm taking fiber.
That's a turbo.
All right, save it. You have a lot more episode to get through, about 20 minutes. So
Yeah.
make sure you spread out the wealth.
We're going to speed through this game.
Just like my uncle threw that 8-ball. Speed right through it. So Need for Speed.
Need for seed.
Need for Speed.
Some weird Steam knockoff.
Need for
You're
Speed.
driving
A triple X
Giant
parody.
wieners. I got a need for seed.
The Oscar Mayer story.
It's just dicks chasing butts.
The finish line is just with ladies' two open legs. You try right in.
I would like that run around the Cruising USA.
Right into Death Valley.
Oh God.
So Need for Speed Rivals actually came out in 2013, not like Need for Speed. That was 2007, the predecessor. So
Night
this was a game developed in collaboration between Ghost Games and Criterion Games and published by EA. So this was actually the 12th.
Nobody wanted to buy all into this.
No, they're like, we'll give a couple dollars. We'll give a couple dollars. Game?
Yeah.
I guess we'll make a Need for Speed. I
This
guess
is-
we'll put one out this
This is
year.
like right around that time that EA really started to just be like, we'll just make money. They're just Mr. Krabs did.
Exactly.
I didn't notice it in the game, but I didn't see any microtransactions, but I was looking for them.
I mean, it was 2013. They weren't really the hot button then.
Not yet.
I'm still on PS4.
Yeah, but like late. Like 2017.
There were still microtransactions in 360 even.
Either
Anyways,
way, this being the
2013.
12th installment of Need for Speed was the debut title for Ghost Games. So this is, to your point, where EA's like, who wants to do it? And then Ghost Games
Yeah.
in the back, I will.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Adds up.
Yeah. Who actually would put themselves in position to be like the primary developer of the series up until 2020. Other than like the
when Hot Pursuit was re-released?
Was Hot Pursuit re-released?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why'd you pick that one, Steve?
He said Rivals, and I was like, I
He picked
swear.
that one at first. I was like, oh, good choice.
Yeah. He said Rivals, and I was like, I thought a new Hot Pursuit came out.
maybe I just
Don't worry, guys. This game is $20.
Oh, I paid $8
It
for this.
no, it was less. It was less than $10.
Oh, I bought the fucking digital version of it. I wasn't
okay.
going to buy a disc of it.
All right. Well,
I still have like $100 in gift cards. I'm just trying to use up.
Fair enough.
that would do it. Well, actually, for the game,
The remaster was released November 6, 2020 of Hot Pursuit.
okay, so that's where Ghost Games were just like, we can't do this anymore. But at least in
We had a
2013,
crack at Hot Pursuit, and we blew it. Oh, we maybe shouldn't handle this one.
at least in 2013, they did okay with some ratings and whatnot. It was anywhere between 76 and 80.
Oh, what, on Metacritic?
That's not bad for a racing game.
Yeah, actually on
Yeah.
Metacritic specifically, that was the range on that one. I mean, because they were looking at this, or at least it was getting hyped up as like the predecessor to Hot Pursuit, and I forget one of the other ones, but they were or High Stakes. That
Right.
This was supposed to be like
okay.
the next new big release for the series itself. So you
When did
weren't-
Rivals 2 release?
I'm gonna say
There's like so many fucking
we're waiting
installments
for
of this
it.
game.
I know,
It's
yeah,
absolutely ridiculous.
I will say that the online shopping was kind of confusing. I thought I was going to buy the wrong one, like several times.
It was a little bit.
20
Yeah,
separate different versions of this game.
need, and it's like, here's 17 fucking games.
Yeah, I was like, oh God. That always makes me nervous. I'm like, I don't want to piss away the money. Then I'll just do a solo episode.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, I'm sitting out on that one.
Yeah. I guess I'm doing Need for Speed Speed.
Bunk.
But it's just me doing speed for 45 minutes.
Harry, that's just crazy taxi.
Oh, shit. Missed opportunity. My bad, guys.
There's still time.
Yeah.
Yeah, God. Okay. All right. No. We're going to get
Sorry,
too
guys.
far off.
We're still in game development, guys.
We
I
are.
know.
I mean, that's about as much development as I have. Like,
okay.
They made the game. It was received okay, and they shut all the servers down in 2018 or 2020.
Oh, interesting.
2018,
That's
they,
weird.
they
I
shut down a
still
lot.
I still saw like live leaderboards and stuff.
According to the internets, that they said that they shut servers
Maybe they
down.
were snapshotted.
Yeah, they might have been snapshotted.
Maybe.
I was gonna say I saw people in the game.
So did I.
They might have been ghosts. No,
Yeah.
they would have still been servers then, even if they were ghosts.
Well, I mean, there's
know.
like
Yeah.
random drivers like for certain
No,
missions.
there was
I saw like
names.
names.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, cause like you could tell the AI.
Brought him back.
Maybe. You never know. I didn't look for the resurgence of Need for Speed Rivals Online.
They just didn't like. They didn't protect the servers. They threw them out, and some dude got them and just plugged them in. Can't figure out how to log them in. He's like, oh, what the fuck? I'll just leave them running.
All of a sudden, we're alive again, boys.
Yeah.
We're getting the crew back together after 3 years.
it's back on the menu.
Need for Speed Rivals back on the menu.
Huh. Well, that's baffling.
It is. It's very baffling if it's like publicly they're shut down. But I definitely saw people.
Oh yeah, 100%. And they were way better, and like they reacted to what I was doing. It wasn't just like
I was like chasing like a fucking 8-star. It was a dude. Like I was just like, oh, I'll get him with a speed trap. And he's just like, meh. Like no, does a 180 fucking ghost speed. I was like, God
like,
damn.
they were
Okay,
fucking,
all right,
there's some like
Well, who knows then?
yeah. I'm calling bullshit on that.
There's some ghost riders out there.
It's probably the fucking developer. Like someone took the server home and
Yeah,
just
that's
like,
wild.
I'll save Rivals.
It's fucking Dan. Dan just can't stop playing, and he's just keeping it alive. Good on you, Dan.
Oh, it looks like it was all 5 of the games that studio that you mentioned did all shut down the same day.
Jesus.
I think that's when they went out of business.
I bet they fucking. Someone fucking has those servers. And it just has
Maybe.
them powered up. They plugged them into the internet and like, hope this works. Powered them on, and they're just fucking sitting in some dude's basement. We're all just playing on them.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. I wonder how that is. How they're doing.
It's like
that.
the Outbreak
know.
servers.
I don't
That's
know.
just someone's basement. They're just sitting on someone's basement floor
That has an active community though.
I mean,
of like 45 people.
No, there's a couple hundred. The Discord alone has a couple hundred.
Okay. That's not a really active community. A couple hundred. It's not a lot.
Either way, if anybody can do some research and let us know on how it's still alive, you do that, because that's more effort than...
let us know in the comments.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
If you're watching this on YouTube.
I don't care where it is. Leave it in the comments.
Yeah,
that's
just
true.
wherever
Discord,
it is.
hop into
We'll
Discord.
get
Tell us all
notified.
about it.
Cool. Let's hop in the driver's seat, strap ourselves in, and drive in to some story.
Story.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is going to be a segment here, right? Yeah. Just a quick speed bump.
Yeah, story will be a speed bump. Real quick, what were the games that actually were put out of
Oh
commission?
yeah, so there's some wonkiness. So Clark was seeing a list of 5 games that shut down, which maybe started some of this confusion on that. But what I'm seeing is that some of the games, the Need for Speed games, had modes called Rivals inside them. Oh. And that was the online play of several games. So when you look up Need for Speed Rivals, it's hard to find whether they're actually down or just
And that's
the
those,
servers
those
that use
speed
that
shift
mode.
games and shit
Gotcha.
like that.
This is the problem when you have 27 games in your fucking franchise. And
Yeah,
you're
and then you
insane.
name a fucking mode after one of the games. What the fuck are you doing?
Well,
I was under the impression that these were all expansions building on the same game. Like it almost like when I was looking through the menu.
This
it
is
looked-
like Madden. This is like Madden.
okay.
you would
They
think
need to. They need to move into the Hitman, the way Hitman did it.
Episodic. Yeah, like
And just be like,
here's,
hey, you know what? Fuck it. It's an engine. It's a game. There's going to be shit coming.
here's this one for this generation. We're
Yeah,
just gonna
like-
consistently build. You just buy it, and it just adds on.
And for this one, if you're a racer, you are Zephyr. You're a careless driver who uploaded a video online, and the cops got a hold of it. And now
God.
you just started mayhem across this entire
Mayhem.
this entire
Absolute mayhem.
this entire
Opposed to your
city.
Easter ham.
Exactly.
Gonna be roasted ham when the bacon chases you.
I'm sorry, because I didn't say mayhem. Fuck you. Or you could be the rookie cop just joining the force who just saw the video, who is making it his fucking life mission to take him down and his crew. Who will win in Need for Speed Rivals?
Since there's no story, do you want to just like go to the end?
I was actually disappointed because I thought they were going to build something up through the chapters. You know how they have those cutscenes? It's just filler.
Yep.
Every cutscene.
I read the story of like what they were trying to go for.
Oh, okay. Please
Yeah.
indulge.
It's real dumb.
Which is why my synopsis was so short. There really isn't a lot.
Yeah,
didn't think
basically Zephyr's like, oh, fuck the cops, and then like the FBI comes in and like, oh, the cops are driving reckless. So then the FBI's like, oh, no cops on the road, and then Zephyr's like, oh, look at me, I'm a fucking giant dickhead, and then the fucking rookie cop gets fucking he steals a fucking cop car or a car from a fucking impound, and then is driving it around like an asshole. I'm Fate. And then he starts like raising a bunch of hell, gets back with the cops, and then crashes and almost dies, and that's it. And then the other,
So who almost crashed? Who almost dies in the crash?
the rookie cop. If you play as a cop, you almost die.
Okay,
and then
what
if
is the other guy?
And then if you're Zephyr, you get into a near fatal wreck, and then just
Oh, okay. So they're sending a message with this game.
and then
Yeah.
they just continue to wreak mayhem after.
They're like, street racing is
No.
not right,
Mayhem,
kids.
right.
mayhem.
Yeah, mayhem.
Thank you.
Mayhem.
Yes. Please
Interesting.
be respectful.
So this is a public service announcement. Need for Speed, public service.
Yes. Followed up by just keep doing what you were doing before you almost died.
I do like how they put the street racing on like the same level as like terrorism.
Nationwide coverage.
Yeah. I mean, it was.
I was yeah, like FBI getting involved in street racing. Like,
love
no.
I mean, those cutscenes made it out to be like people were murdered. There was just mass hysteria. There's lockdowns. Like,
Wait, cars have computers. Get cybercrime on this. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
Not wrong.
The FBI would not do anything involving cars. Not like they would literally do nothing unless it was like theft, like grand theft,
Grand theft.
like thousands of cars. go missing.
Grander theft. It's where you steal at least 3
That's
cars.
wild.
So buckle up for safety. On to gameplay.
yeah, I don't know what else.
Stay safe.
Stay lovely.
Huh.
I don't know. Throttle through on that deer in front of you. We're plowing into gameplay.
Gameplay.
Okay.
Yeah, could you hit deer? Was that a thing? Were
No.
they like- okay.
It's not Cruising USA. I just wanted to do relatable because some people have hit some
That'd be cool.
deers.
That would be cool. Not hitting a deer, but, having them in the game.
Yeah, sure. So there's cars. That's fine.
Yeah.
They go front and back. It's very important.
Forward and reverse, if you will.
So
Don't get too technical. Come on. I'm trying to keep it very generic.
They
for
do
the
not go
public.
sideways. They turn.
Well, depends on your graphics.
Yeah.
well, I think a good way to start this segment is to differentiate that there's 2 campaigns you can basically play as the cop and the racer, essentially. I opted to play as the cop because
Same.
when I play Hot Pursuit, that's what I'm looking to do.
Yeah.
Sorry if you wanted to.
Yeah, no, I did the same. I played a bunch of chapters as a cop, and I found that more enjoyable
Yeah.
because I felt like
It takes it away from the standard racing, which
Yeah,
anybody can
yeah.
do if you make a racer. This is the odd thing that they're throwing into
Right.
the works.
Right, the unique part of it.
And I thought the chasing down other racers in more of a kind of demolition derby-ish type way was a little more satisfying, because that's how I like to play Hot Pursuit in general. Was just like, try to take out your opponent. That's the way you win. Is try to take your opponent out.
Pure aggressiveness.
Yeah. So I thought like the cop angle was interesting, and that's what they make you play one of each. Like one chapter of each, and then
Like a
you
tutorial.
And you can
In the
bounce
beginning,
back and
yeah.
forth pretty seamlessly too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can just like switch back and forth. But I literally played racer for the tutorial and was like, I'm just gonna do cop, and I found the gameplay there a little more interesting, like a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I did kind of half and half, because I wanted to at least try to like split the time and just see what cars would unlock and what quote unquote like.
Did you beat the game?
power-ups.
Did you like play the whole thing?
And not the whole thing. I did not.
I don't think you necessarily need to for this.
No, not really. I mean, it is
rinse and
kind of
repeat.
Exactly. Took the words right out of my mouth.
That bothered me. So like I played like 4-ish hours of the game. Like I had commented in our Discord, that like our podcast discussion Discord, that I had played like 3 hours. I went back and like played another hour, and I just couldn't play it anymore. Like it got to the point where I was like, there are so many other things that I'd rather be doing than playing this game, just because it's the same shit kind of. Like I didn't like.
There was no new wrinkle added every now and then. It was
Here's
just
the thing.
race, right?
Here's the thing. Basically, they make you go like. Here's my biggest gripe with the game. All right, if you're going to make a game where you're basically doing bullet points on a checklist over and over and over again, don't make me get out of a rhythm to go back to the shop just to accept a new list. It is the most fucking annoying thing in the goddamn world. Like you're out in the open, but you can't progress at all. You have to go back to a command center just to... what really killed it for me was I was at a spot, and I went back and I got like my second set of assignments, and it was asking me to go back right to the spot that I was. And I was like, this sucks. I was like, I'm not playing anymore. That's what did it for me. I was like, I was just there. Why isn't this mechanic like that? It just completely destroyed the game for me.
Well, I feel like because you got to choose from 3 different lists of objectives
What were the racer
complete.
ones? Because I didn't do much of the racer.
There was basically it was like straight racing, evade the cops, or destroy the cops. I mean that was pretty much like the 3 different choices.
So that's almost just like the opposite of what the cop was, where the cop was like, "Oh, do you want to fuck with the racers? Do you want to do like jumps? Do you want to go over some cool jumps, or try to get real fast?"
Right,
Like,
yeah.
I mean,
And the jump, I don't know about you guys. I did like 2 or 3 of the jump events. I was mostly doing the covert one. I liked the unmarked police
Undercover?
cars. Yeah, undercover.
Yeah, 'cause
Gotcha.
it was patrol, undercover, and
Enforcer.
enforcer.
Yeah, and those are the 3, like, so as you level up your cars, that's the one that you unlock if you're doing that checklist. So if you continue doing the undercover, you unlock the next car, but it's the one without the markings.
Yeah.
Or stealth markings.
The next undercover car.
Yeah. So, like...
I liked looking like a cop, though. If I'm going to be a cop, like, I want all the...
I was switching back and forth between some of them, but, like, it just started the repetitiveness of doing the lists. I would have been okay with them if I could stay out in the world. Or like, the one time there was this one requirement, like, oh, do X amount of feet in jumps. I was like, okay. Did them. It took a really long time because none of the jumps seemed like I could get a really good straightaway into the jump. I didn't find them. I don't know if you guys did. Maybe 120 feet a jump.
Yeah.
You know, like, and it was nothing crazy because, like, if you got if you hit one of those at like the 210 miles an hour or whatever the fuck the cars could go as fast as and hit a jump, you would go for fucking miles in the goddamn air. But this was like, 100 feet because you're like going, you have to drift around a turn to hit this fucking jump and get your nose pointed in the right way because the car's handling's funky. Yeah, so you'd be out doing jumps and then you'd go back to base and then the base would be like, oh, you want the next undercover car? Guess what? More fucking jumps. Go out and do some jumps. And I was like, motherfuckers, I was just doing some fucking jumps. You couldn't have just maybe called me and been like, hey,
Do more.
we'd like to see another 800 feet out of you, bud.
You know, about four minutes
Evil
ago,
Knievel that shit.
we didn't know that there were going to be more jumps, but now that you're back,
Do
we
more
got the,
fucking
we got the
jumps,
word
rookie.
that, you know what the sergeant said? We need more jumps.
But like stuff like that was just like, okay, I'm gonna take a break. Like that's, and then it's like, okay, so I'm doing a checklist every break. I'm playing for 10 minutes at a time. I'm like,
Yeah.
It started to get to the point where I was just like, there's no way to play this game in a way that doesn't take you out of the experience over and over and over and over again.
In a very fluid way.
Yeah,
So
like-
that way, yeah. It was a lot of like cut, go out, and it just really kind
It
of
broke it up. Like I felt like anytime I'd get into like a good rhythm, like, oh, like I'm really like effectively chasing down cars right now. Like I just want to continue doing that. Oh, well, your progress is completely halted until you go back to a command spot, and then you go back to the command spot and you're like, cool, I'm totally out of the groove that I was just in.
Yep.
Because I have to like refigure out at 180 miles per hour what my turn is going to be like again this time, or in this new car that I just picked up. Like it's just one of those things. It's like, man, I didn't like it. I really did not have a enjoyable playing experience with this game.
I will pick out Burnout Paradise for our next racing game. I'm sorry.
If you do that, I would fucking love that because that game's fucking sweet.
So good.
So okay, let me just throw about a bunch of shit in no particular order.
Go for it, man. Go for it. That's what I literally just did.
I don't absolutely hate this game. I
Okay.
knew what I was kind of getting in for. And as far as like it's very arcadey. This does not feel like a Gran Turismo type game.
No,
This is like
sure.
pick up and play. I kind of like knew that getting into it, so I didn't take it very seriously. There are some aspects of the game I think that's kind of cool. Like I like how you can just kind of free roam the world, and there's these speed traps all over the world, and you're trying to go past these points as fast as possible.
Yeah,
and it compares how fast you hit this speed marker with all your other friends.
Right.
I saw a bunch of yours coming up, and I was like, "Ooh, I was just
gonna
under
beat
that.
Clark. I'm gonna
Let's
beat
do
Clark."
another lap around."
See, that's the thing too. I think I started playing the game first.
You did.
And so I didn't see any of your stuff, but like apparently like 8 of my friends played this game, and I was just like, okay, cool, I'm gonna do this. And apparently my one friend's like a fucking savant at the goddamn game. Like he was just like, I was like, cool, I hit that at 180 and his is like 260. I'm like, neat. Or like his jumps were consistently like 80 to 90 feet longer than mine. And I was like, what the fuck is he doing?
Well, that probably has something to do with the cars, which is an aspect I don't like.
You tripled the speed on some of the cars though? Like
The cars are all exponentially better than the previous one. You cannot just play with one car that you like all the way through the game. You
sucks.
always have to upgrade to the newest car to have the best performing car, which pisses me off.
yeah, because especially like if you're in this like fucking task force that's supposed to be going after fucking Lambos and Ferraris and whatever the fuck's going on, right? Like if you're in this task force, they have a garage for upgrades. Where are the upgrades on the actual cars? Like,
Well, they're all on the racing cars. You can do the upgrades.
What?
The only upgrades you can do on the police cars are like
get a new car.
no, the attack abilities.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
fucking
the pursuit
garbage.
attack. But as like if you play through Racer, you can do the different specs.
You can do like, oh, I'm gonna change my exhaust.
You can do
and like
weight.
all that shit.
You
Yeah,
can
like
do
all that kind of
exhaust. You
shit.
can
Oh,
do.
cool, thanks. I fucking hate it. Like,
well,
what the fuck? You can do that with a
You
goddamn
didn't
police
do
car.
that though. That's your own fault. That's your own
Is it
fault.
the same-
You didn't-
Well, no, okay. I think it's a little bullshit.
Yeah,
I'll be
well,
honest.
yeah.
Here's the difference though. No.
Hold on.
Wait,
Wait,
Oh, boy, here we
hold
go.
on. I have a have a rebuttal to that.
Okay,
Like,
go ahead.
the thing that sucks about that specifically is that they should be able to upgrade their cars. I really enjoyed some of the lower level cars and was still pushing them out to the higher difficulties, but then like I felt like I had to, and it's all of a sudden I'm driving something that's completely alien. It keeps like knocking you down. Having to upgrade the cars upgrade to a different car that has a somewhat different feel or different jank to it, like that sucks.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
And not even
But
be able to tune it.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not even upgrade the stuff, but like tune it. Like if
I'm
I
not
could-
even going to stop there, but I'll let you finish. I got more to pile on top.
Cool. I got another one to jump on that at least as a rebuttal.
But
got rebuttal.
But like just like tuning. Like if I could have gotten one of the new cars and tuned it so it would have raced like one of the older cars, like tighten up the steering and shit like that. Like
Yeah.
that would have been fine, but like the lack of customization is like pretty bad on the police side.
And that's where it's more on the racer, because as a racer, I hate to feel like I'm diving deep into this, but I think it is a little bit. As like a racer, you're someone who's spending your own money. You need to upgrade and tune up your own car and put these modifications on it. And that costs money, so you need to buy the car. And then each upgrade and tuning and whatnot that goes along with it, it costs the money. As the cop, you get all of your cars for free.
No, you have to spend rep to get them, actually. You have to earn the rep to be able to get them.
Well, at
which is
least-
cash. It's just a currency with a different name.
At least with this, it was more like if I completed an objective list, I got a new car. So if I did my job as a cop, I got an upgrade.
Because you get enough rep to go to the next level.
Because
I'm just saying, like-
I completed my tasks, and my task gave me the next one, which probably
Which
was
is the rep.
enough
it's the,
rep.
It's the
sure.
score at the bottom.
Yeah.
That's like, oh, you
So-
get this much rep.
So my
and
rep
every time.
is doing my job. And then on the other end, as the racer, it's like I have to go still do like these objectives.
So you're saying for
but
lore
still
reasons
go-
it makes more
Steve,
sense
just
that
stop, dude.
No.
You're trying to be like, no, this is a realistic game.
No, and
wouldn't
see,
do
no,
that.
I put that with
Harry,
the
put your
caveat in the
headphones back
beginning.
on.
And, like,
We're
I
fucking
put that
about
with the
something.
caveat at the beginning because, like, if you have your own car, you're spending your own money for it. If you're on a police force,
I don't give a
you're-
shit about any of that.
You're not out tuning
It's a
your
Need
car.
for Speed game.
You're not out.
The best
tuning-
part of every single
no.
Need for
Wait
Speed
a minute.
game
Hold on,
is the
hold on.
customization.
Yeah.
We're saying we can't customize the cop cars because of tax money. We can't spend that. We weren't authorized to spend those taxes.
Are you out as a?
This is where it went.
No.
This is where it went.
Are you out as a police officer? No. Shut up. I let you go first last time. It's my turn. It's my turn. No.
You need to repeat the casting
Exactly.
for Harry.
Sure. So Harry, what I said was, as a racer, because you're part of the racing squad, you're upgrading your own car at home. And as a police officer, you're not out doing your own tune-ups on the car and specking out your fucking police car. You get that from the department, and they say, you drive this. This is good enough for you.
Department issue. Don't touch it at all.
Exactly. But as
You
a
won't touch
fancy
this fucking
wheels,
car.
no tunes, no exhaust. Don't touch it. It's government.
exactly, they don't let you.
No, it's Need for
Tell
Speed.
me I'm wrong.
It's Need for
Tell me
Speed.
I'm wrong.
It's Need for
Tell me
Speed.
I'm wrong.
You can make the game fun.
Go ahead.
Are they the fun police?
Yes. yes, they are.
Fun police.
By law, yes, they are. They will not allow you to have fun, which is driving very fast.
Oh man.
You can drive fast as the cops, though.
Yet you can.
You
but
just can't change the shitty steering in the high-speed cars.
Exactly, because it's government issued. So
doesn't-
play as a racer.
That
Change your own
doesn't stop
car.
Fucking current fucking speed units from
Harry, you had
changing
another-
that
You had
stuff.
another
Yeah,
point,
yeah,
Harry?
yeah. I had another little gripe I want to throw in just to really explain the frustration behind this. So
That's going to be great audio.
If Steve and I's autistic screeching for the last 35 seconds hasn't been enough for you. Rap! Cash!
So,
God, we're fucking
well, that's why I mentioned the autism.
the autism. The autism.
So, I brought this up in chat at one point. I was unlocking things through completing missions and like completing like the objectives and everything. And I was like, I can't unlock anything. Every time I go back there, it doesn't show up. And that's how I found out it's tiered. So not only like upgrades with like the racers and stuff like that, but like the abilities that you unlock. So you start out with the 4 base abilities on the cop car. To use any of the ones that you unlocked, you have to go to the next car. So your first cop car only has the 4 at level 1. The second level will have those 4 at like level 2. The third car will have those 4 at level 2, plus like 2 of the new abilities at level 1 that you can choose from. So again, it forces
so you have to buy the car and buy the skill.
No, you don't
just
buy
get
the car.
You just earn
it's
enough
government
rep to get
issued.
the new car.
Yeah.
So you're spending the tax money to get the new car.
The reputation gets you the tax dollars.
So rather than
spending the
upgrading the
cash.
vehicle, they just spend it to buy a whole new car.
Exactly. Thank you. 1 point, Steve.
Spend $5,000 on tuning. What the fuck?
Exactly. You don't have to because you work for the government. They do it for you.
Get better cars.
But that's frustrating because so here's the problem with that though, Joe. Each car, like
Harry has stopped talking to us completely. He's like, here's the problem with
I'm
that
going to talk
show.
to Joe. I'm explaining to Joe over here.
That's a smart move. Let's be fair. I wouldn't blame him.
Between Steve and I just yelling at each
I know,
other.
you guys need to stop rivaling out over here.
Shut
we
down your
need
server.
I say we rival against
so
Harry.
Harry,
I don't
Yeah,
like
let's
what
run.
you do.
Yeah. Whatever he says, let's just say something stupid against him.
Let's have
Go
two
ahead,
separate
Harry, with your next
conversations.
point.
I was going to say something. So like Clark was saying before, the cars change in stats.
Yeah.
So there's like a scale of like 1 to 20, 1 to 15 or something like that. So like
That's stupid. It should be 30.
yeah, you got me. You fucking got me. Like, your acceleration, your steering, like
Yeah.
max speed.
Yeah.
So like,
Can you tune those things, though?
no.
That's a problem.
Not on a cop car.
So not only like are you forced to get the upgraded car for these abilities, but like the car changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you can't get your favorite car because of the way it moves and accelerates and like fully tier out that one. No, you have to go to this one. And my biggest thing was like the controllability. I hate cars where like that you have to like really turn the wheel. I like to be able to kind of spin on a dime.
You like a loose steering wheel.
Yeah. So like
Fair.
when you're forced into these cars that are lower on the steering, it kind of drives me nuts. So
I get that. The Aston Martin was
there's a lot of
not
problems.
good with that. Yeah.
How would you like a cop car that you can't handle?
Here's a Challenger.
Too bad. Instead of throwing $5,000 into the old car, here's a $400,000 new one that doesn't drive well.
But it's got cool new abilities.
It does. We got a big old
Take
budget.
that, Zephyr. Oh, you spend your money.
No, I did find that to be one of the more frustrating things was I wanted to be able to upgrade my car as a cop and go
But
faster
it's
and
tax
be
money, Steve.
Yeah, I know, right?
Hey, you're spending tax dollars.
Yeah, exactly. The rest of them do too.
Steve, you get them for free. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
exactly.
You just can't touch them because they're tax dollars.
Yeah. Like
I mean,
We just flip.
you just have to
we
do
just
your-
take, we
you
don't
just have
give.
to do your job.
That's right.
I'm very sorry to anyone that's listening with bipolar disorder because we just flipped on you.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
Wait. Who do I agree with?
But not being able to keep that, definitely right. Certain cars have a lot more comfortable feel when it comes to like handling.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily a fast car that can keep up within a race or a pursuit or something else. So it does start to get like, come the fuck on. And
Like, I got used to the handling of the Charger, and I actually started to really like the handling of the Charger, but, like, just give me more speed. Like, just add some speed to
Right.
that. But there's no other car that handles like the Charger. They're either, like, featherweights. There's nothing heavyweight like that, because I like stiffer steering. Like,
goddamn right you do.
I don't mind going into a turn and, like, having to drift a little bit.
I like the drifting, and I got pretty good at
Yeah.
doing the drifting.
But when you aren't in control of how the car handles it, it's like, okay, so I want to go out drifting. I have to use this car. Oh, I have to chase really fast bad guys, racers,
Yeah.
I have to use this car. It's like, nah.
I thought it would have been cool to have more than just the 2 abilities on the cop car as well. Like as you're upgrading more and more, like adding more features, like maybe because you're upgrading the number of uses per those things, why not just spread it?
Dude,
the uses
exactly.
across a bunch of different things.
Couldn't use the tax dollars to mount more weapon systems.
It's true. It's
Yeah.
true. I thought it would have been cool just to have a variety of items and limit each one's use, so you're not spamming what actually ends up being the thing, because you just get more and more uses of the one thing. So you are spamming in the end.
Yeah.
It would have been more strategic to spread it out and like, oh, I'll throw a barrier up here. I'll do a speed trap here. I'll ram them here. Like spread it out instead of, no, I'm going to ram them 15 times in a race. Like,
And then eventually, okay, now he's over.
done.
Yeah.
Oh, and the secret ending vehicle, which is a Mercedes-Benz APC with a 50 cal cannon on the top.
Arnold up
I wish
top.
that was true. That would be fucking fun, but no, of course not.
That would have been the James Bond game.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Or a really cool episode of Top Gear.
So if they're going to make it
fair.
wonky with like all the abilities on cars, why not go like ham on that?
Yeah.
Mayhem.
Mayhem.
Mayhem. And
I
it
prefer a
did.
June ham myself.
Well, you're just not as refined as myself and Joe.
More of an Amsterdam, my friend.
There you go.
Oh, okay. All right.
Wait.
So
I had a
that's
thought.
I still can't get over the upgrading thing. I'm sorry. I can't.
Yeah,
Like,
it's baffling.
That single-handedly the best part of all the Need for Speed games.
Yeah. Yeah, and they took it away.
And it was
from
like
half
my
the game.
biggest question coming into this was like, how was the upgrade experience? No,
No
it didn't
idea,
exist.
no
Yeah.
idea because
No.
I played the way that I wanted to.
Yeah, that's nuts.
That sucks.
Yeah,
That-
like
it sucks.
2 open
I didn't want
slots
to
is
play
not
racing.
enough. It's like at least even if you wanted to put some sort of cap on it, maybe just usage between 3. So like if you
like-
wanted like 6 total,
Oh,
you
dude,
could
it's
do
not-
like 2, 2, and 2,
2, yeah.
Or
I mean,
2,
it's
1,
not,
and 3.
It's not even that. Like the weapons, I don't care about the weapons. Like it's the feel of the car for me. If I
Yeah.
can't drive the car effectively, the weapons don't fucking matter.
Yeah.
I didn't get so far advanced, but like nothing shot off of the car, right?
Not that I saw.
No.
Yeah, like you don't get like a fucking weapon where.
No, there was one. There was like
There's like the
a little
EMP
bit-
pulse.
where it's like a little charge beam, but not like anything.
Yeah, the static
like
ram or
physical-
whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Like okay, yeah, that's cool and all, but like my fucking Charger that I like driving can't keep up with the fucking Ferrari that I'm chasing.
So I can't even use that skill.
Yeah, so I can't
Yeah.
use that. So like the forced progression sucks.
Yes.
It seems like there's not forced progression for the racers, which is cool, but forced progression for the cops really sucks.
wonder. I see. I didn't get
I-
into the racers, but I do question that. Like, I feel like the upgrades only are
Yeah,
probably
maybe
tiered
it's like,
so
oh,
far
yeah.
on the racer cars.
It really is. You don't need to do much to still be able to get your check marks off of the list, because I feel like it's geared towards whatever car you're using to even like a little bit further into the racer mode, which I did, and it still did not. And I still use, I think, like the second car that I
Yeah, but
got,
can-
and it
so that second car with upgrades can hang late in game.
I didn't even upgrade it, and it still seemed to be like kind of along there. Now there was like some points where like instead of getting first and getting a little bit further in the difficulty started kicking up a little bit, where it was like second or third, to where it's like maybe you want to consider either getting the next tier car or upgrading your car, because a lot of it, like with the amount that it cost to either get a new car or upgrade your car, was pretty much the same amount. Like it wasn't too different, at least to make it feel like that you were still capable of like winning a race by that point. I mean, the thing that really, I guess, bugged me about the game mostly wasn't so much the car selection or like how you got them with whichever career path. It was the game modes. They felt the same, whether it was like with like on the police side where it was
Pursuit.
it was
Pursuit.
Those are the ones I aimed for, honestly.
and because that that really kind of paid off. And then as soon as you were done, you can try to still go out and get more points by just like, I'm just going to go in a big circle and see if a racer passes me or whatnot. And
Yeah,
that was pretty much it. It's like more so, do you want to take one down? Do you need to be aggressive and take them out in like a certain way? But it felt repetitive on both sides.
Both sides.
Whether you're a racer or a cop, which
I got that feeling really, really early.
yeah.
I looked at the critic scores of this, and I actually don't understand them.
Yeah.
I truly do not understand. Is it just because it was the first Need for Speed game on PS4?
I think so.
I really truly think people like forgot how good Need for Speed can be, because there was a few years where they didn't have one, and then this one came out and everyone was just like, "Oh, new Need for Speed, hype porn,
Cops
hype
are
porn.
back.
Cops are back." Yeah,
Yeah.
so that sucks.
Yeah, that does suck.
All right, I did have a question, and I can't confirm this one way or another, but at times it did feel like the rubber banding existed, like
Dude,
like in Mario Kart. You know what I can't
100%.
confirm, but
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, where they
noticed
adjust
it.
the skill of the racers with you,
Or,
and
like,
kind of
it's-
just like
just
well, yeah,
behind-
and
it's
that
like-
person in front can only ever get so far in front.
Yeah,
kind of
okay.
thing.
They did, and whether it be you're behind or you're in front, it was the same throughout. There was one.
Well, I feel like unless you're the cop, because you could totally fucking lose people, and that's how it like ends.
Well, that's. I think that's a little bit different, specifically for the cop. But
So,
as like a racer,
I noticed something with the rubber banding that was really fucking annoying, and I had it in the back of my head, and I wanted to bring it up also.
Go ahead.
But like, so you know that like when you're out in the wild and you see somebody that has 3 stars, they're typically a certain tier of vehicle for the other opposing side. So if you see a
Okay.
3-star racer as a cop, they're in tiers 1 or 2 of that. And if you see a 5-star, they're in the next couple of tiers. If you see an 8-star and again, I primarily drove the Charger, which is the second car that you get.
yeah,
I saw an 8-star and there was no rubber banding. None. To force me to progress. But even a 5-star, which is starting to be out of my ballpark of being able to like catch them effectively on just a straight open, there was rubber banding. I was catching up to them and I'm like, okay.
or maybe
that
it's a
car-
skill cap thing.
maybe. I do feel like it was very biased toward in favor of the racers than it was playing as a cop, because I
That's
think
even worse then.
But I think to the point, because your job as a cop, or at least like within the game, was like to catch up, take them down. So the car you were chasing was already supposed to be hard enough. And then if that point of separation, like I was saying, like even within like as a racer within races, going from like kind of like first to eking out first to second to third, I think that's where you start to see the shift in the game, at least for like as like a cop side. But at least for my racer, which both of them, I kept them kind of like static with each other because I try to give them both a fair shot. I feel like it was more beneficial to be a racer in those sort of situations, because then the rubber banding was more not necessarily in your favor, but more favorable. So maybe the first car you would come up on them, but you would still have to take like a corner a little bit differently and really kind of maneuver your way into first, and it allowed you to get to there instead of just like fucking totally boxing you out, as compared to trying to catch up to a racer as a cop and them just kind of like setting out a little
decelerating.
further and then going and then decelerating, and then sometimes just like
Bump
full-
into you. I
full
had someone
180 turn and
basically-
go
I
the
rear-ended
different.
them because they slowed down in front of me.
Yeah.
And I was like, neat.
And then, but you'll hit them, and then they'll catch quick instead of like spinning out like more so like
Yeah, all of a sudden
what's
they're going
three
the
like
opposite
spinning out
direction. You're like, what the
3/4 of a way. What's that, like a 270 or
Oh,
some
whatever,
shit?
yeah.
But they would just hit more along the 180 and then just fucking cruise, and then side road, and then just fucking gone. And then by the time you turn around, you're like, they're off my radar. Where'd they go? what's happening? I'm going to take left. And they went right.
I got lucky and I got I think it was like one of the 8 stars with my, or it might have been a 7-star. It was one of the higher, like,
Tiers.
Okay. And they just happened to be passing me, so I just moved into the oncoming traffic and just I just fucking blasted them. It totally like crashed my car.
Yeah.
But then when we both spawned, there were so many like of the computer cops around that he was like boxed into
There you go.
But he was boxed in at a gas station. So we were doing a bunch of damage, and then he'd slowly reverse through the gas station and be fine. And then we'd box him in again and start hitting him, and he'd slowly crawl through.
Sorry,
It was so stupid.
to
And then,
explain to Joe real quick, there's points where you can drive on the road, but there's like little pit stops along the way. If you drive through it, you fully recover everything.
Like
yeah.
you repair your car,
So
any
fully-
damage.
that
I
sucks.
nailed him, did like 3/4 the damage, and then he fucking healed up. But eventually, enough of the cop cars swarmed the. Like, there were literally like 10 fucking cars there.
It's 8 stars.
Yeah. And they just like slowly pushed so many cop cars in that he couldn't get back through it. And we were all just like, there was me and at least 1 or 2 other players.
People.
And we're
Yeah.
sitting there and we're just hitting them with the shock ram. Like, we haven't pinned and we're just like, shock ram, shock ram, shock ram.
It does feel kind of epic just to do some good things with this game.
That was an epic thing.
Yeah.
That was the one thing that I thought was actually really fun in the game
can-
was chasing other people.
when you
sometimes.
chase when you chase people at like the higher tier, Joe, it becomes like more of like a full-fledged chase. It's not just you versus the racer. There's other cops involved. You see choppers going in the sky. Like it just feels like
back up and
Oh,
stuff.
you know what
Yeah.
it feels like? It feels like a
Theft
hot.
Auto?
It feels like a Hot Pursuit from the original.
Hot Pursuit from the Hot Pursuit.
it just feels kind of cool when like like it's a swarm. We gotta get this fucker.
You're
kinda thing.
involved. You are in it now.
They get them goddamn old kids in there to just destroying everything.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Nailed
I
it.
didn't sink a ton of time. I want to say like 6 or 7 hours, but like I enjoyed some of it. I think I played like 2 hours a night for like an entire week.
Yeah, there was a moment or two that I enjoyed. I can't even say that I really enjoyed the game, but
For like an arcade type game, I had moments where I had fun. I
Yes.
don't want to like.
if I lower my
Fully-
expectations to it not being like a AAA game, like,
Yeah, it's not a AAA game.
No.
yeah,
100%.
it was billed like a AAA game when it first came out, and that's why I think it got all.
Well,
the
it's also
accolades.
10 years old too. So
Still, there's a quality of game 10 years ago.
yeah, that's fair.
I mean, it was 2013.
I'll
It
be
was
honest. I
2013.
haven't followed that many racers over the years, so I
No.
don't have great points of comparison. To be
Same.
completely honest.
Yeah, that's fair. I was interested in the last Gran Turismo, but then I'm like,
I played Gran Turismo 3
my last
Like-
one was 2.
20 years ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
for PS2. I mean, that game was amazing, but
Wenzel just got his PS2, and then we were playing Gran Turismo 2
Nice.
or 3, whatever the fuck it was at that time.
yeah, I haven't played a lot of racing games.
This went up against Forza Motorsport 5,
Yeah,
which
there's no way. It's I mean, it's a different game, but yeah, no.
As a racing game,
Yeah.
yeah, but I can see where they're going with something just a little bit different.
Yeah.
Well, with that, let's pull our lever, clean off the windshield, and look right on into some graphics.
Graphics.
Oh yeah, could you get buggy windshields?
oh
Can I start this one real quick?
yeah, Forza 5 and Gran Turismo 6
Right.
came out the exact same year as this.
Yeah, they're more comparable games to each other than comparable to this.
Yeah.
Is what I meant.
Sure,
That's
but-
all I meant by
But
that.
I'm just saying, in quality of racers at the time,
But they're not arcade
They're
racers.
not
though.
even close.
They're
to the
they're,
same
they're
game.
like
True.
Let's not go down this
This,
road.
this game is probably more Mario Kart than those two.
yeah. I would agree. Graphically, I was not upset with the look of this game. Again,
Like
looking at it.
artistically, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, looking at it as like an arcade. Again, I don't want to. We're not putting it in the same vein as like Gran Turismo or
Right,
anything.
Right.
But knowing that it's an arcade type game, it had that like fast paced motion to it.
A lot of motion blur, streakiness,
Yeah,
stuff you
a
would
lot of
expect.
that.
Yeah, even like the weather effects I thought were cool. Like I like driving at night and in the rain and just stuff like that. I thought it was kind of cool. And like the different environments. Like honestly, you could probably drive around the entire outside of this map in, I don't know, 10 minutes maybe.
Maybe a little bit more than that. It was actually it was a fairly decent sized map.
Yeah.
They're all the
it
like
was.
mini courses. So if you looked at the
Yeah.
overview of the map,
There's a couple obvious loops, essentially.
oh yeah,
yeah.
they're very obvious.
Yeah.
And each one had like its own like, kind of landscape. Like there's very like redwood forest section, like a desert section,
Yeah.
almost like a Malibu beach section.
It was definitely
Just like
West
Hot Pursuit.
Coast. West Coast ish.
Hot Pursuit had the same thing, like the redwoods and like the beach location,
Okay.
and stuff like that as
Yeah,
well.
but you'd be able to like if
But
you
they're all
pick,
loops.
if you pick like a certain race or a certain like an actual specific mission, it would kind of give you like an outline, and like out of like this whole big map, there's just like little shit popped in everywhere.
And what is nice is the maps aren't too complex. What I mean is like there's not too much going on that's just so distracting to you.
Yeah.
The one thing that is a little annoying, so there's this little sub menu where you can auto put something on your thing. Like if, oh man,
a
my car
GPS.
Yeah,
is
the navigation.
the
Yeah.
navigation. My car is fucked up. I need to get to a repair place, and you can hit like right and choose on this little drop menu. This is what I need to get to, and it puts it on the map for you.
Yeah.
just like that. That quick little tool doesn't always work effectively.
Oh yeah, yeah. I had that same issue.
Because there's like, oh, I want to get to the nearest pursuit. You might have already cleared it, but it takes you back to one you've already done.
Yeah,
So it doesn't have the option of like the next progressive level one or the nearest one. Like it just takes you to the nearest. Or I don't know. The mini map isn't always 100%. Sometimes it's handy. Sometimes it's fucking annoying. What did really bother me graphically, I wanted multiple viewpoints of the vehicle. I wanted one that was like slightly above the vehicle.
Yes.
You had two options: inside the car or where the car takes up a third of the screen.
like where it's like the lower like
Yeah, there
right.
was no,
I
like,
wanted the camera
yeah.
that's behind it but up. So
Yeah.
it only takes up like a little portion of
Yeah.
so you get more
Yeah.
like no, not an
GTA.
option. I went digging
you wanted,
through the menu.
You wanted the
Yes.
GTA view
Yeah.
of driving a car.
I
where
haven't played
it's
GTA
just-
since
it's-
Vice.
It's back.
But
Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly that, because that's what I was looking for that through
Okay,
the
so you're not the
options.
only- I'm
no,
not the
no,
only
no,
one.
because
Same,
it was like, oh, switch view. I'm like, all right, takes me in the car. What's the other one? Oh, it's right back to the same thing where I'm like right behind the car,
like, oh,
and
did I
I
hit
can
the wrong
barely
button?
see. Yeah,
Damn.
and it's like I can't see enough of the road to really like
Yeah,
drive
it
the way I like
blocks
to
the
drive.
road sometimes. Your vehicle, so you
Yeah.
can't really see.
Yeah, you
that
can't see
effective.
turns sometimes.
Yep.
Or like off ramps.
Oh yeah,
And trying to find shortcuts, it was
it's
like
super difficult.
Yeah.
super difficult.
unless it was blaringly obvious that there was a shortcut coming up, like you wouldn't see the on ramp for the
Yeah.
shortcut.
And I will say, when you're going at faster speeds, I don't think your mini map comes out far enough to see
No, it doesn't.
things coming up.
It's just as blind as your view of the,
by
Oh yeah, 100%. And there'll be points when you're in like a race or something like that.
Yeah.
Everybody knows because they're computer players to make a hard left. You have no fucking idea, and you're blowing through these barriers. And shit.
Yep.
And like, oh man, now I got to put the car in reverse and go back. Like it, yeah. So there's that aspect that's kind of frustrating. But from a world viewpoint, I thought it looked pretty decent.
Yeah, I think it was fine. Just in general, I think it was fine.
For a 2013 game, it didn't look that bad today.
Yeah.
like and we've played some like older games over
Sure,
the past
sure.
like 6-7 years or so.
This is like really early PS4. I guess.
Yeah,
This is near launch PS4.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
and for that, I will still give it where I think with the graphics, it looked pretty okay for its time.
Sorry, I gotta add one more fucking thing though.
Still got one.
Okay, so when you get in an accident,
Yeah. Oh. Say it.
you could go in some crazy
Yep.
physics.
Oh, does
Like,
the camera
yeah.
whip around?
so my car just flipped over a mountain the one time. I hit a barrier and it went all the way over the fucking mountain.
Yeah.
And the guy that sits in the car just perfectly at his 90-degree angle. I'm gonna get those bad guys eventually.
You saw the rookie.
Yeah. He doesn't move. Like, he's
Secret
not
ending.
like, oh my God, the fucking car. No, he's just sitting there like this. Doesn't matter what happens to the fucking car.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I just went into low orbit, but everything's fine.
Not to mention, after those crashes, sometimes when it goes to like reset you, complete opposite
Oh, it
direction.
does. It does sometimes.
And then
It'll
you
reset
you
at
have to
180
like
and you're like, cool, dude. Thank you.
you have
for
to
that.
take at least like 3 seconds, which
You gotta flip around to start the race again?
Yes.
Well, no,
Yes.
no, you got to take the 3 seconds to like examine your surroundings. And
Yeah.
say, wait,
Am I
is this the
facing the
correct
right
way
way?
or?
Yeah.
Well, I was chasing someone.
Yeah. Guess I give up now.
Yeah, I guess I'm going this direction now.
Yeah,
because you
that's
might
fine.
as well, because you're never catching them.
Oh.
If you wreck like that hardcore and you
Yeah.
end up backwards after while you're chasing
Oh, you're
somebody,
fucked.
it's done. You're done.
Speaking of the resets, sorry, this kind of tips into gameplay a
That's
little bit.
fine, that's fine.
If you go to reset, it doesn't reset your car. It just resets you back at the starting line. So if you've used all your abilities up, your car's down to half health. Well, fuck you.
Yeah,
Like,
you're
you-
half health.
that's-
at the
that's
beginning
where
of
you're
the
at.
fucking race.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the reset's
Start
just
over
like
with nothing.
No.
it's not even starting over. It's just like you're back at the beginning now. Everyone is still where they are.
Oh, it doesn't read.
Oh, no, it takes you out.
Oh, does it?
It
Does it?
resets, but it doesn't like you would think.
I
oh boy,
never used the reset button. I was always just like, oh fuck, I'm crashing.
no, you think like, oh man, I beefed it real bad. I need to restart with like full health and weapons. No. You need to go find a repair shop and then drive back to the starting point for that race again.
Oh, that's brutal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was not very forgiving. It was like, you fucked up. Yeah, you did. And you're
That's
gonna
how
pay
they get
for
you
it.
to spend more time in game.
Yeah.
Resets.
Yeah.
Something that's supposed to help you play the game effectively.
Yeah.
Punishes you. So
I'm sorry. That's my whole spiel on graphics.
I don't
That's
really.
right.
I agree for the most part that it looks pretty good and
Cars look neat.
Yeah.
You can make them different colors and kind of customize that. You could like customize your colors and like your rims and
As
stuff.
long as you're not a
which-
cop.
As long as you're not a cop, yeah.
I wish you could see the cutscenes though, Joe. They're fucking wild.
Oh yeah.
They make it like this is apocalypse. like
This is like-
the world is fucking ending because of these racers on the road, and you're the only one standing between this
Zephyr,
madness
Zephyr
and
has the
civilization.
last bit of plutonium getting to the Manhattan Project, and he's gonna drop that nuke.
It's an 80s B movie, but just on PS4
It's like an 80. It's like a
graphics.
70s E movie. It's just like yikes.
Fair. Yeah, it wasn't very well written.
No, it wasn't.
It's read dramatically though.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it is. It's goddamn
That's awesome.
Shakespeare.
Well, that's sound.
yeah, we're
Death, dishonor, Honda Civics.
All right, boys, let's crank up the bass, turn down the treble a little bit, get the volume going. Time for some audio.
Audio.
Okay, hear me out.
Okay.
So
Is
I
that
listen-
an audio pun?
Sure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I like it.
I listened to the soundtrack for this. You can tell where they spent their money.
Yeah.
I was like, I literally went to the playlist and I was like, oh, Bastille, that's pretty sweet. And I was like, oh, I like Pompeii. And then it was a remix. And I was like, oh, this is actually pretty decent. This is cool. Wonder what the rest of this playlist is like. And I was like, oh, it's all just generic house music.
Yeah.
EA in studio,
And then a bunch of terrible other rap songs
With
that you've never heard.
there were some like
There was no
EDM,
ba-da-da-dum.
Yeah,
we
no.
had.
a lot of remixes where I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I know this song. Oh, this has changed a bit.
I know
Yeah.
this song kinda.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Which at the same time I wasn't like super mad at, but you know,
Yeah.
it was
There was a couple that I was like, oh, okay.
All right.
But nothing I was like, I'm going to put this on like my liked list or whatever on Spotify. Like,
I found the radio mostly distracting.
See, that's wild that you guys actually heard the music because I had my TV
I mean,
set
I
it to
listen to it on
volume
Spotify.
10, and she was complaining about the sirens.
Oh my god, the fucking siren is deafening.
It's so fucking loud.
It's so loud.
It is.
I kept like, oh, and you know what's real dumb? If you turn off your lights while you're in like an open world pursuit, you're just done with the pursuit.
Oh yeah.
It's stupid. It's
So you
so
can't
dumb.
you like mute lights.
Yeah. I was just like driving, and I was like, "Oh god, that siren's annoying," and it's like ended pursuit. And I'm like, "What? No, I didn't. I just wanted the sirens to stop."
Oh, Joe, this is one of the loudest fucking games I've ever played. It is.
No, try to tell Joe about the sound. Go ahead.
Yeah, it is so loud. You try to watch TV while the game's playing.
Okay. All right. That's good. You know what would have been better if you spent your money upgrading your car as a racer, you could listen to the radio instead of having to listen to a siren. I was expecting one of you to fucking cut me off in the middle of that. I am surprised. I had nothing else. You tried. I think you just pooped.
Nope.
Joe pooped.
I just
That's
wanted to.
literally all I heard the entire game.
Yeah, it's
That's it.
so fucking loud.
It is. It's obnoxious.
And then I think I heard Pompeii every third song.
That's the other problem with
There's a
this.
lot of repeats.
Yeah, I was like, okay, this is a 2-hour soundtrack, and I was like, typically these races are like, so how long would a race or take?
Like it could be anywhere
minutes?
from.
I've ended some real quick.
Okay,
Well, you could be looking anywhere from like 2.5 to maybe 7 minutes.
So my point is anyway that you're going to be listening to a lot of these songs a lot.
Yeah.
Like assuming you hear them, I guess. It's kind of what my
barely.
friends
Depending on what you're
Basically,
playing, yes.
You get out. You get out of the command center, and you just hear hey hey ho ho hey hey. That's the experience as a cop in this game.
Nice.
Nailed it.
You're like, oh, cool, something to change the. It's over.
It's so loud.
It's so
And the
bad.
engine's just.
Yeah, it's like the sound engineers. There was one guy that was working on the fucking engine effects, and another one that was working on the siren, and he was like, "Bet mine's louder," and then they just had an internal competition to see who could drown out the other person. And the
seems pretty on
siren
point.
won handily.
It's really funny.
You know how some cars, as you go faster, like something gets louder, like your radio gets louder. It's like that for the siren because the engine gets louder, and they're like, no, these can't be the same decibel.
Ramp that shit up.
Yeah, just crank it.
It's so true.
Oh boy, the siren's really annoying. Let me just turn it off. Pursuit ended. Son of a bitch!
Nice.
You gotta love that siren if you're a cop. You gotta love the siren.
You did one of like I'm telling you, the first time I did one of those double takes, like, whoa, I need to turn this down.
Yeah.
Because my average volume on the TV is like maybe 15 to 20. This like 10 was pushing it. I'm telling you.
Nice.
All right, that's
It's a lot different from
all we
than
got
your
for
rate.
sound.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's drive on, take a look in the rear view mirror into some final thoughts.
Final thoughts.
You were making a
You
face to
couldn't-
get through that.
I did. Said anything else? You could have just changed what you said.
No. Committed.
I'm a double down on this.
Fucking Eddie Vedder introing.
I'm a wee woo.
I'm a little.
All right, final thoughts.
Oh, wait.
Well, you guys made this game sound real enticing.
You want to
Yeah,
borrow
don't
it?
play it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Cool.
My
All
God.
right. Final thoughts. Harry.
So if a car went camping,
I want to see where this goes, boy.
if a car went camping,
Ladies and gentlemen, Harry is writing Cars 4.
No, I've seen this movie before.
If a car went camping,
What was that absolutely ridiculous movie where the cars were like fucking?
Cars.
No.
It had The Rock in it.
It did have The Rock.
Southland Tales.
Yeah, that's it.
There's some cars fucking.
There's some cars fucking
I
in
just
that
don't-
movie. Yeah, anyways. That's what
Okay.
they would do in the woods.
So,
Oh God, what happened? What happened to us? Look what they did to us. Go ahead, Harry.
the car went camping.
Yeah, a car went camping.
What would its choice shelter be?
Oh God. Oh God.
What, Harry?
Yeah, what would it be, Harry?
A year.
Is that your entire thought?
That deserves no comment from any of us. Don't. Let's
I'm
just-
crying.
Is that it? Is that it? Harry, is that?
I don't know. It was an
It's
okay.
hard to ignore that. I actually liked it.
That was going to be my intro.
That was going to be the intro.
That should have been your.
So you saved it for your outro. You know what? Good call, Harry.
You guys are lucky I didn't have those beers earlier, because
Yeah.
mine would have just been just out of nowhere, shock and awe, some police siren,
Oh my God.
as loud as I could into the microphone.
So, going into this, knowing it's an arcade racer, I didn't absolutely hate it. I don't know how many people I'd recommend it to, but
But for you,
I wasn't like in a state of like I'm fucking hating this game. It was okay for what it is. I don't know what else I can say with the final that
Fair
that
enough.
wraps I think it up
dig
100%.
it. That sounds like a final thought. So, Mr. Clark.
Yeah, I did not enjoy my time with the game, really. There were some moments that I thought were cool that I can only wonder and never going to figure out if they expanded on those in future games. I'll be skipping anything made by this company because I know
That's
they
right,
made
they're
like
not
5
doing
of them.
it anymore.
Yeah, right. I know they're not doing it anymore, and I'll probably I'll skip over all of the ones that they made. So, yeah, it not for me. It just wasn't for me at all.
Fair. I actually had a little bit of hope for this game, and getting into it in the very beginning, I'm like, okay, I could see where this is going, and then it just turned into the same thing over and over for like 10 plus hours, and yep, that was about it. Well, let's expunge this record, get into the score.
The score.
I'll start off. I'm going to give this a D plus, a drive plus, because there's reverse, and that's the plus part of it.
Wow, that's using your fucking noggin, Steve.
Hey, thanks, Joe. Harry,
Welcome.
I think I'm going to give it a 4.5,
Whoa, that's better than I thought you were going to give it.
which is going to tie with Call of Cthulhu.
As well as the Amulet of Chaos.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll do 4.5.
okay, Mr. Clark.
This isn't a void for me. I don't think it's worth playing.
You haven't had an
we're
avoid
spending-
in so long that I forgot that was your third option.
Yep.
It's been a while. Hey, Joe, do you want to play this game after tonight?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay.
Nah, I'm good.
All right, everyone.
Quite honestly, not even just because it was this developer, but I couldn't tell you the last time I played something EA. Like, they just...
It's almost like a taboo thing.
with games. Like, that's my opinion of EA. Like, they have something great, they're 80% of the way there probably, and then they just, like, fumble it in the worst way possible, usually.
Well, with that, thank you, everyone who is still listening. Join us in 2 weeks for an old school Mubbers.
Yeah.
Kind of taking it back a little bit. And yeah, until then, love you guys.
Stay safe.
Stay sexy.
Stay lovely.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to follow us on social media and all streaming platforms at Superfun Podcast for more episodes. If you enjoyed the show, Tell a friend about us and consider becoming a Patreon member for more exclusive content.